Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And today we're doing a cult classic, a nice campy sci-fi movie called The Blob.
Yeah.
From 1958. I believe it's the debut of Stephen McQueen.
It's his feature film debut.
Not Steve McQueen, it's Stephen McQueen, who plays the character of Steve.
Yeah, he was in a...
Is he Jack Nicholson, I guess?
He's in like a couple TV shows, I think, before that.
Yeah.
And he plays like bit parts.
This is before he was the cool...
The king of cool.
Yeah, before he was the cool...
Even though he is really cool in this movie.
Yeah, he's very cool in this movie.
Calm under pressure, for the most part.
Yes. It is from 1958. It is directed by... Hold on, I got that information.
Isn't it like
Irvin S. Yeworth Jr. and Russell Dodden Jr., who's uncredited.
Yeah.
But in IMDb, he is listed as someone...
An independent movie.
Yes. Very independent. It's got Netta...
Still good, though.
Yeah, it's got Netta... What's her name? Sorry, I felt professional. Corsaut. She plays Jane. Not Janie. Jane. Don't call her Janie. Now you have a whole cast of characters, and it's a B movie, but it actually has... It has some character development in there. Mm-hmm. Like, even like the what's it, Bert de Schmiert, or whatever whatever the insult was, Bert de Schmiert. He is the hard-ass cop.
Yep. Compared
to Dave, and Richie's kind of like in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, he has this whole thing was like, I was in the army, that's why they don't like me. And you're just like, he's in the army. That's an interesting little tidbit there.
Yeah.
Steve he acts all cool, but when Dave was talking to him in that car, he was like, it looked like he was drunk. But, yeah, it's so 50s.
Yeah, but it's the good part.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not as, like, cheesy as certain films, but it's still, like, it solidified, like, a lot of those tropes. Like, you see a bunch of that, like, in the Creep Show, with the meteorite. And it's just...
So they don't turn into a plant, this one.
No, you get eaten by a blob.
Yeah. And what I like about the movie, it starts off like with a bang. It just starts.
Yeah.
There's no exposition. It's just this guy touches... he runs into the road, and then just grows, and just... Like, literally the story grows as the blob grows.
And then, like, the special effects where, like, you're using almost, like... It seems like stop motion.
Yeah, and there was
where
times
they like cut and it like jumps like on his arm and stuff.
And there was times where there's times where the blob looks really disgusting, and then there's times where and it comes out of theater, and you're like, oh, that's a pretty good miniature, and then the camera accidentally moves and the miniature moves at the same time. So there's kind of like a charm in any mistake it has. It's a charm. To it.
And it's a simple story. Meteorite hits Earth. It's carrying this blob that eats flesh, and it just keeps
flesh.
Well, bones, flesh.
It eats people. It just dissolves. It consumes everything.
I say flesh because it doesn't really eat plants.
Yeah.
But it eats like living organisms, like people and animals.
And all Steve is trying to do is make out with Jane. That's all he's trying to do.
And it just keeps growing with each person. It consumes and nobody really knows what to do with it, and that's what the whole movie's about. Is this alien blob menace, just swallowing up people, getting huge in size. Like after the movie theater, it's larger than the movie. It's like coming out.
Yeah,
takes up the whole diner almost.
Yeah,
and that end sequence.
And then the end sequence, there's a lot. There's kind of like a dour. Like I thought it was going to end on a real sour note. And I was like, are they going to go this route? Like, there was a time where it got really dark real quick. I'm like, oh.
What's really interesting is they hint at the solution earlier on, and nobody really thinks about it. They hide in the icebox.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how to tell people more than anything else.
Well, they hide in the icebox, and it won't come in, and they're like, oh, okay. But they don't really figure out that it's afraid of, like, it's actually weak to cold.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
CO2. It's got to be CO2. They're very specific CO2.
Well, that's the kind of fire extinguisher.
I know, but CO2. There was some weird. I love like sometimes like the plot. All the plot was Steve is trying to convince the people of the blob, and they're trying to find the dog. That's pretty much the that pushes the movie forward.
And it does.
There's also a part where like he hangs out with I forget their names, but Mooch was a character.
The
I thought
teenagers?
they were the bullies. They're gonna bully Steve, or whatever, and then they're friends. Like what?
Yeah. Well, Steve's like this kind of cool guy.
And they bond off. Was it Bert or was it Dave? Which cop was it?
I want to say it was Dave.
Dave was the cool cop. He was the cool one. And they were like, was it Bert? And I was like, no, it was Dave. Bert the Schmert. He was awful, whatever. And you're just like, wow, that's a name.
But yeah.
And there's like I said about the characters, little quirks. Like Richie, he's like, I like to play chess alone and stuff like that. And you kind of deal with like. Also, let's not forget the one of the best characters is the mechanic. Talking about like, I'm going to drink, I'm get so drunk, so blackout drunk. Like,
well, I mean, it's such a fun movie, and you can see why it was remade. I mean, it's flawed, but it's still memorable.
It's got charm, but it actually has legit like scares. Like the scene with the doctor and the lights go out, and he's like, "Where is it?" And then you see a shadow, and you're like, "Oh!" Well, it's like legit.
You kind of jump like in the very beginning when the guy's poking it with the stick, and it just leaps up.
And it's like
and he can't get it off his hand.
Yeah, he was legit terrified.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the opening theme, the Blob theme is great.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's so classic. I think the scariest part of the movie was the fact that the little brother wanted to name the dog William. Ew! Don't name your fucking dog William. Don't name your dog William. It's awful.
It's still.
I'm gonna name him William, and I'm just like, ew, kid. Go back to bed.
When you talk about like a dark note, like it also the ending, like they don't solve the problem.
They just throw it off to something else.
They put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
And it does like.
And then they say like, as long as the ice caps are still ice,
they still stay cold.
And then Al Gore's like, oh my god, that's why Al Gore made Inconvenient Truth, because he's afraid the Blob might return.
It's possible, but I mean, I think we're making fun of it, but I think it is a really poignant statement that they were thinking about that back then.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they just threw it in there like, as long as it stays cold, haha. But maybe they were thinking about the possibility of the ice caps melting at that point.
Yeah. So, the important question is: buy, rent, or skip?
Well, I bought it already. I forgot to bring it, but I'd say buy. It was a favorite of mine when I was a kid, aside from all the dinosaur and monster movies.
Here's a fun fact. This is the first Blob movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I saw the remake.
Last night was the first time I watched this movie.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, I know.
And the remake is a little bit gorier.
Yeah, it's got one of the Dillon brothers, right?
Yeah, it stars, what's his name, Kevin Dillon?
Not Matt Dillon.
Yeah, not Matt Dillon.
Not Matt Dillon.
The one that was in the Doors movie.
Yeah, is Stephen Baldwin is that an insult saying he is the Stephen Baldwin of the Dillon brothers? He is the Donnie Wahlberg.
I think so, because there aren't as many Dillon brothers that are in acting.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd say bye. It's a fun little movie. It's I mean, if it's I don't think it's out of print. If it was out of print, you might want to push it. But it's a fun little movie.
It's an affordable Criterion.
Oh yeah, it's a fun little movie. It's briskly paced, like an hour 22 minutes. Briskly paced. The pacing is really good. Like I said in the beginning, it starts it off and just keeps going. It's very well paced. It's fun. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be in black and white. It was in color.
Yeah, no.
It was the start of like near the Technicolor era. It's getting there, and it's it's very. It's great seeing Steve McQueen. Just like he's not there yet, but you can see
he's like the prince of cool at this point.
You can see the potential of where he's going to go.
Yeah,
and
great. He's by far the best actor in the movie.
Yeah.
He's got the great talent.
I don't know, like his dad was a great actor. He was like, my son never lies. And you're like, wow. Wow, what a believable dad. Also, it was weird, like he was like listening to his parents sleep or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, is his bedroom like right next to theirs? Like legit, like.
Well, was he sneaking out?
It's like a connector to the. Yeah, he's sneaking out. I was like, what? But yeah.
Yeah.
So bye from both of us. It's a fun little movie. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make fun of it, or you can watch it and be like, that's a pretty good like independent movie. You can learn some stuff from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll do it for this episode of the Criterion Connection. What did you think of the Blob? Is there any other movies that are in this genre? Like maybe Atomic Submarine, maybe stuff like that. Like was it Equinox is one? Yeah. Throw it in the comments section below. We're down. I love these kind of movies. So I'm interested in more of these movies. This is our first sci-fi like kind of atomic. Not atomic. It's not really atomic. It's
I call it. I typically like call this kind of stuff like the atomic age sci-fi.
Atomic age sci-fi.
Because a lot of movies had to deal with like aliens and radiation back then
and giant monsters. Like giant spiders and ants and stuff. I don't know. Zat. Let us know in the comment section below. Suggestions. We did a fan suggestion last week, so we're down to do more. So next month though we have a new themed month.
Sure, that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, we decide. Hey, let's do another themed month. So our theme month for August is music. We are doing music related stuff. I believe the first movie we're going to start out with is This Is Spinal Tap.
One of the greats.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not. I think it's not currently available for Criterion Collection, but you can buy it on eBay and stuff like that.
The Criterion edition is out of print.
Yeah.
But you can find this movie regardless.
Yes. And so next week be sure to turn up to 11. Until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we will see you later. It's our spooky blob.